Hello to all you lovers out there.
Hola.
Welcome to another episode of LoveWorks with Juan Gee, where today we are sitting down with the iGeneration.
Yes. Today we are sitting down with the iGeneration and we get their perspective on love, dating, sex, prep, HIV, open relationships, you name it. No subject was off the table. All sponsored by Positive Impact Health Centers.
Hello to all you lovers out there. People always asking us what's the tea. It ain't no tea, baby, can't you see? Loving me, loving you, loving we. Love works with Juan and G.
It ain't no tea, baby.
What's the tea?
It ain't no tea, baby.
What's the tea?
It ain't no tea, baby.
What's the tea?
It ain't no tea.
So it's not very often that we get to sit down and speak with the generation below us. And these guys, I have most of you by about 20 years. So although we, I think we kind of go through the same things, especially when it comes to sex, dating, relationships, life, all that stuff, I still think that there might be a little bit of knowledge that we might be able to offer you guys, as well as you being to offer us, because we grew up in a generation where things weren't so free. And so I kind of just want to get into you all's heads and figure out how did you even kind of end up where you are, and maybe we can kind of bridge the gap a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that leads me to ask you your questions. Like, during that coming out moment of the explorative phase, was you exploring your identity? Were you mirroring some sort of, fantasy or archetype that was already out there? Let's start with Sky.
Okay, well, first of all, I'm gay, happily. It's amazing. And when I came out, I found that one of my favorite gay shows ever would be Noah's Ark.
Mm-hmm.
And I found myself always gravitating towards, the character of being Noah. He was always just very artsy and very, very carefree, but also he loved his friends. So I found it to be something that paralleled my real life, because I had friends who I had grown up with since, middle school and high school, and they were there, molding me, you don't have to be that gay, that's not you, I was one of my fit into a particular thing, because I wasn't that.
What does that particular gay mean?
Well, they thought that I was gonna be, the honey boo and all that, and I would sometimes try to mirror it. I really would, but it just naturally wasn't me.
So how many of you also felt like Sky did when he was first coming into himself and feeling like he had to be that gay? And I'll just paraphrase what he said about snapping fingers, popping neck, and reading and shading and doing all of those things. When you guys came into yourselves, do you feel like you felt like you had to be what sometimes media might show on TV when it comes to being gay?
I didn't really think I needed to act a certain way. I was actually trying to prove a point that, gay people are people. At the end of the day, we're fluid. We're nothing. We're not just this one thing that you can characterize and you can see it anywhere you go.
Well, my story is kind of different. Coming out, I felt like I had to be hyper masculine. My parents, I tried to prove to my parents that just because I was gay doesn't mean, I want to be a girl or anything like that. My mom asked me if I was wanting to wear like women clothing, and she said she would wish she could raise me differently and things like that. So I just tried to prove to my parents that I'm still me. I'm not going to change just because I came out.
So I want to ask this question. We talk a lot about this too in our generation, where a lot of guys, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, they date guys that are your age. Would you date guys, or have you ever dated a guy that was considered to be older than you?
Yeah, I've always actually attracted a lot of older guys. And the first time I actually ended up dating one, we were dating for like 5 or 6 months. And he made this comment like, well, once you get to be my age, and I was like, right. You're in your early 20s. And he was like, Brandon, I'm 33 years old. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I know. And I mean, for a split second, I was over it that quick. Because my time, my interest was already invested. I didn't care. Right. And since then, I've attracted older guys just as well.
So me personally, I would not date somebody that much older than me. Because pretty much they're set in their ways, they know what they want. Once they get that, then they're trying to mold you into what they want and not what you want.
So I'm curious to know, how do you all respond, and some of you might also identify as bisexual. How do you respond to someone who says, and I don't know what your experience is, that they're bisexual? For me, growing up, and even in our generation more so, a bisexual is like not accepted. No, you didn't. You know, it's automatically a dismissal. Are you accepting of bisexual people, or do you think that it's just something to say, or I would like to know your ideas about that.
When I came out, I was with a guy, so there was really like no question, and I was sure that I was only interested in men. So becoming interested in women was a plot twist for me. But it's cool, you know. Sexuality is one of those fluid things, a lot like, you know, life is, and I'm good with that. But I did get met with that a lot. You know, you're not bisexual. If you like boys, you just gay. That's it. Because long before Brandon decided to come out, there were plenty of men who used the label bisexual as a gateway to transition into their own, you know, sexuality as really just gay.
Well, how many of y'all would date a bisexual man? You wouldn't date a bisexual man, Sarah?
No.
You would not. Tell us why.
I wouldn't want a bisexual man. In all honesty, since we're having this honest conversation, I wouldn't want you to ever say, you know what, Sarah, this has been cool, but I want Johnny from down the block. Because I don't know how I would take that, how I would feel about that.
Is it a stronger fear than him coming home and say, sorry, Sarah, I want Julie from down the block?
I just always feel like it would hit me harder if it was a guy. Just me personally, I feel like I wouldn't want a bisexual man.
So it really just kind of gets under my skin with the double standard when it comes to being bisexual. Like, men can't be bisexual, but women can be bisexual. And just like what Sarah said, I mean, that's not uncommon.
And that's, to me, it's sad. But I will invite all of you ladies out there who feel like Sarah, ask yourself why. And really give an honest answer. Like, what are you holding on to? What is it that your ego can't handle, knowing that your man has been with another man? Because Sarah circled back and said, well, I could be the bisexual one, just he can't. You can be in an open relationship with a man who had a boyfriend and you?
No. But I have a girlfriend.
Oh, no. See, that's the double standard.
Sarah, write to us or call us and let us know the answer to that question.
Well, what about the top, bottom, versatile, you know, bottom, versatile? What about those labels? Like, is that a question that you would ask the person that you're dating? And at what point?
It's probably like in the top 5 questions, like the first top 5 questions. Just because it's like a compatibility question. And like, well, I like the bottom. So I just throw it out there. I mean, I can't really see myself like dating a bottom, just because it's like I can see like the emotional connection that we might have like at the end of the day, like when, you know, like it's like what we gonna do.
Right.
I don't know.
So if let's say you was in a relationship for 2 years and you got this guy who's a top, and in 2 years he decides he want a bottom. Right. What happens?
I don't like that. So like technically I'm like a versatile. So it's like,
well, that's a label.
Right. Because it's like I have to be like more specific.
You have your lines.
It's like if I just say something in general, then it kind of like shuts out like any possibility of anything else. So it's like, and it's like everything is a spectrum. Everything is fluid. So it's like some days I might want to actually, I don't know, maybe some days I might want to top. And if my top, you know, wants to bottom one day, then I'm like, okay, let's see what happens.
It's definitely not top 5 for me. In my relationship, I don't think the question ever came up. You know, it just happened. You know, we built a connection. You know, went out on dates and things like that. And then, like at a certain point, once we got to the bedroom, things just went how it went.
With my current boyfriend, like he's up top, and he definitely has very, very manly mannerisms, and he is essentially just a guy who just likes fighting me.
When you say he's very, you went from top to he's very masculine to he's just a man.
He's just
and so, would you not describe someone like that who may be a bottom or a little bit? Do you feel like you're just a man?
Definitely, but I think he is what society views as like for a man. If you view him out of wherever in this room, for example, He said right there, you think he's probably straight. He just be quiet and sat there. To be honest.
Is that important to you?
No, not really. No, I'm lying. It kind of is. But that's honestly what I like in my dude. I want him to be kind of opposite of me because I'm a lot to deal with.
Can I challenge you to not associate the masculinity to just a man? We're all men, right? And so when you describe him, you say you would think he's straight.
Because you honestly
Why couldn't you just think he's gay?
Because it's not what society thinks.
We're not talking about society though, because it takes us to help change society. And so if you change your language and in the way you're describing the relationship and the person, that gives other people opportunity to open their minds as well. Because, to be masculine does not mean you're straight, to be feminine does not mean you're gay. This is just a person thing. And so I would invite you to not just associate his mannerisms with the fact that he's a man or a woman. So I thought it was important to get Sky to expand on what he meant by a real man. Yeah, because I think a lot of times in our society, in and outside of the community, we automatically associate masculinity with being a man when really, somebody made up those rules on what it meant to be feminine and what it meant to be a man. Girls were supposed to like pink, boys were supposed to like blue, and boys like trucks and girls like dolls, but no, we're making those stories up in our head, and I feel like it just continues to perpetuate the stereotype.
I'm hoping that folks who are out there watching right now can take all of those terms, put them all in a ball, in a basket, and just throw them away and begin to define yourself for yourself and by yourself.
Yeah, just be.
The slogan for the iGeneration should be, there's an app for that. Because there's an app for everything. I am going crazy having to download a million apps. And for the age, you have Grindr and Jazz. All of these. So many different ways to meet people. What are your thoughts on that? Is that the new way to date in 2018?
Last week, I actually was my last Jack straw. I deleted Jack and Grindr. This guy had messaged me on Jack one day, one day last week or whatever, and he had he unlocked. And he had unlocked, and I looked at his his private pictures, and they were mine. That was my photo. And so I've been using Instagram, Facebook. I still have Tinder, and also I go out more because there is this stigma in our age group that, especially for gay people, in order to meet other gay people, you have to go on Jack or on Grindr because otherwise you won't find anybody.
Getting on the apps, I noticed that they would always promote white bodies on the apps, and also just the language around when you're filling out the form, when you're trying to create your account, the whole bear, these terms. I was I don't fit none of this, and then to see in other bios no facts, no femmes, I just was really offended. So I feel as if I would have to just be not myself. When I'm communicating, so I said, hey, let me just delete this. And I got Tinder, and I started to learn how to just, you know what, hi, how are you? Just start a conversation. And I would learn how to say, okay, you know what, I'm liking this conversation, let's actually talk in person. So I would learn how to just move from the app and move to at least texting or calling, because that way I feel like I could at least see you in person and also through FaceTime and stuff.
On Jacked, I met one friend and the shortest relationship I ever had, 16 days. Yes.
And you think it's because of the app?
It's because of, I think, the culture on the app, on apps in general. A lot of it is like you said, it's very transactional. It's about, skipping the lines to get to it quick. It's, you cute, I'm trying to fuck. Sup. What up? Just these really dry, quick. Hey, I'm not really trying to get to know you, but I'm trying to get to know what you have to offer, really quickly.
I want to go on to this next question because I think it's really important. How do you navigate dating and STDs since they are so common in ATN? What do you think about Prep? What do you think about condoms? How often you get checked? All that stuff. Like, does that come up in conversation when you're dating?
And it's okay that people don't like to use condoms, but what I definitely tell the clients is you have to get your partners tested at this point if you don't want to use condoms. That way you all know kind of where y'all are with that. And just having that open communication really helps as well. And explore PrEP if that's an option.
And to that point, even if your partner is positive, because let's be real, I think if you're gay in Atlanta, it's very common you're going to come across somebody who is actually positive, you're not positive yourself. And that's okay as well, you know. Just because you may be considered as a couple, one person's positive, one person's negative, it's not the end of the world. If that person is on meds undetectable, that's safe sex, you know.
Would y'all have sex with someone who's HIV positive?
I say no, only because I'm not fully educated on all of the risks. So until I am, then I'm gonna say no.
Are you interested in being educated? Or are you cool with where you are right now and that's just reality?
I'm totally interested.
I just thought it was really honest for him to say that he wasn't educated enough to even speak on PrEP.
Yep.
And I think the problem is a lot of us speak on PrEP and we're not educated about it, but we don't want to say that.
Right, all we hear is the stereotypes from our friends or from whomever's out there in the streets that if you're on PrEP, oh, you must be a hoe or you must be out there fucking around. You're just licensed to go out and just be loose with your body and your sex. And that is totally not the case. It's a preventative measure.
It's a preventative measure, and it can be the case if that's the way you use it, but let's just be real. Look at the statistics. Most of us are having unprotected sex anyway, so why not add another layer of protection? I mean, that's just my opinion on it, but the first thing you need to do to even decide if it's for you, get educated on it.
In a couple of sentences, how do you make self-love work?
So really taking the time to step back from everything, kind of giving myself peace and silence, and figuring out what exactly my needs are. I think that's for me the best way to operate self-love.
So self-love for me is just always remembering that it's okay to be selfish for yourself and not just always trying to give to other people. For me, that's self-love.
About taking your time back.
It's reclaiming my
Reclaim my time. And you know, just really do what I find that I brings me peace, honestly. That's me walking around the park in the same park for 3 hours. I'm gonna do that, which I do.
For me, self-love is more so being secure about myself, because I feel like once I start feeling like insecure and like people start nitpicking and like I allow that to like affect me, then like my habits and stuff will like start changing to like I say if a person is not feeding, fucking, or financing me, then like their opinion doesn't matter. It's just like at that point, because like yeah, that's pretty much like how I feel about self.
Feed, fucking, finance yourself.
Yeah.
You might need help with the fucking bar.
Self-love for me is all about pouring into oneself. And like it was said before, just establishing who you are, what you want, what you will accept, what you won't. And being completely and totally satisfied with who that person in the mirror is.
Self-love for me is being very picky about the different forms of media that I consume. I love Instagram because it's a form of archive for me. So like, I would love to capture like how I'm feeling, and I would like run an affirmative like caption. I don't have to worry about buying into these other magazines that have these legal beauty standards. I don't have to conform to that.
Self-love for me is just protecting your own energy. Like renewing your spirit when it has to be renewed. Like for me, I listen to gospel music whenever I need it. I get a man cave, like just pouring back to myself, because you know, not everybody's gonna give you the energy that you give them. So it's just about protecting your energy.
It's pretty much the same with what everybody else has said. To be able to stand alone and to be an individual, not to have somebody else's ideas consume your own.
Self-love for me is all about being your own biggest fan. Loving yourself for you and not letting your opinion of yourself sway by what people say to you. Yeah.
Awesome.
So this group of young men really impressed me. I learned so much from them. I think that while I don't even want to say my expectations, but my expectations, I didn't expect them to be so evolved in their thinking. And they're so comfortable with who they are. And although they might have went through some struggle, it's just such a complete difference with this generation.
Yeah, and I hope that though they can hear our words and our compliments of them and really take that and run with it even farther, because you can still sense some insecurities surrounding a lot of the topics that we discuss, but it's on those insecurities are on a foundation of such strength and courage and forward thinking. So if they could just rest on that, knowing that like I ain't got it all figured out, but I'm better than the previous generation. I mean, it's just I'm just can't wait to see where they go.
Yeah, I mean, very impressive group of young men.
Yes.
Like I said, I learned so much from them, and I hope they learned a lot from us. Big shout out to Positive Impact for representing today and sponsoring this episode. If you would like to be a sponsor of the next episode, please email us at ask@juangee.com, ask@juangee.com.
Love you all.
Peace.
In the iGeneration, do you get a proposition for open relationships?
Yes, all the time.
Yeah?
It's becoming something that I think people are more willing to explore. And I don't knock anybody for any of that. Like, do it, yeah. But me, I do know this about myself. Like, I'm a very monogamous guy, and I really only like to be with one person at a time.
So LoveWorks is absolutely amazing. I think it's always nice to meet up with like-minded people where you can share experiences and you can talk about real issues, real experiences, just everything that you've gone through that develops you into a person, and that's exactly what this was all about. So I definitely enjoyed myself, as candid as I can be, as open as I can be, and I think everyone was equally as candid and equally as open.
I don't see how you can start off dating and being in an open relationship with more than one person at a time unless you built a foundation with the person and invested yourself in that person. Like, I don't understand how that can start. You know what?
But I would love that though. I can do like an open relationship, but I can't find anyone that can jump.
He just can't be with a guy.
He just can't.
You can't do it.
Me personally, that's not something I would do. That's not me. I feel as if more of this needs to happen so everybody can get what they have to say off the chest. I think this is great because you get to learn from everybody else. You get to learn from what they've been through. They get to learn from what you've been through. Pretty much is open. I love things like that.
I think what happens is society tells us that open relationships are not supposed to be. Society tells us this is what a commitment looks like. Society tells us this is what a marriage looks like.
I think that the episode is honestly going to be very, very instrumental and very, very influential for people who are in our community and people who aren't in our community, honestly. Could give you a perspective of like how we think from people who are young, black, gay, or people who just themselves and want to give you an idea and a mirror to what we really go through and how we honestly think. So it's really, really awesome. I think they did a great job with this one.
We've evolved into this space where we put so much responsibility and pressure on our spouse. He has to be my best friend, my husband, my confidant, my this, my that, my this, my that, when it used to be spread out amongst other people, your friend circle, and your this and this. So it was this notion of diversifying your social circle to relieve the stress on the marriage. So, what about the concept of diversifying your intimate relation too, and the openness conversation right off the bat?
Well, I feel as if when you bring too many people into a relationship, it can get messy from there. That's where problems occur.
The more people, the more personalities, the more emotions. I don't know who could handle two relationships at one time.
Every relationship is different. If it works for y'all, it works for y'all. If y'all want to be open and it truly works for y'all, then be open. And if you realize it doesn't work, then it doesn't work.
Yeah.